Filip Zadina took a big bet on himself, terminating his contract with the Detroit Red Wings where he was going to make over $4 million. Signed for a little over $1 million with the San Jose Sharks. And, well, early in the season, it looked promising. He just has been wildly inconsistent. Now, there's still those flashes you'll see from Zadina. You'll see some good playmaking. You'll see him help set his teammates up for a good goal. But I'll be very honest with you. He's been very underwhelming on a very poor San Jose Sharks team. And you could argue, is Zadina playing terribly or producing terribly because of the pieces around him? I mean, that could be a point. But I'd also argue Zadina's in the perfect situation where they would have to rely on him to provide offense. He wouldn't have to be sheltered in a third line role. Like, he has all the opportunity in the world to be a top line player on this team. And even with the amount of ice time they give him, it just seems like Zadina's never gonna fulfill his potential. And it's a shame, because when you see him locked in, playing the best hockey of his life, you honestly can say this guy looks like a solid top 6 option. He has a pretty good shot, able to take a good one-timer, willingness to go into the corners, has the ability to set up plays. He has the tools to be a top 6 guy, but I think some nights he just lacks the motor. And I just think he's not consistent with his finishing. His best night of the year was against the Calgary Flames where he had 4 points. But considering Zadina has 23 points in 69 games played, and 4 of them came in 1 game, yeah, he is just not consistent enough offensively for the Sharks. So does this mean he'll never fulfill his potential? I think it's safe to say at this point, unless he does a miraculous turnaround, he'll never justify being taken 6th overall in the 2018 NHL entry draft. And terminating his contract with the Red Wings was a massive mistake. When you look at the highlights, and I included every single point he got on this season, he seems like a solid player, but he's not consistent enough to put him in a top 6 role. Maybe he stays in the NHL in a 3rd, 4th line role. But again, mutually agreeing to terminate that contract was a terrible idea. Maybe if he went to a different team, he'd have better numbers. But considering Michael Granlund has 51 points, Zetterlund has 38, Eklund has 36, I don't think it's crazy to say that Zadina should be providing more offense. I'm not saying for him to be a point per game player, but maybe around a half a point per game. He had the opportunity this season and he just didn't capitalize on it. He would go 10 games at times without registering a single point. You can't have that in your top 6, and I would argue you couldn't even really have that on your 3rd line. But I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments section. What have you thought about Filip Zadina's season thus far? And do you think terminating his contract was a massive mistake? I'm Captain Paul from the Locker Room. Appreciate if you drop a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.